IdeaNote lets you innovate simply and effortlessly by capturing more of the right ideas. The way IdeaNote helps you with this is by providing the structure and the process you need. Right now, we're looking at an IdeaNote workspace for one of our favorite companies, Unicorn Incorporated. We are currently looking at the Missions tab, and that is because a mission is hugely important to the way that we think about ideas, how to capture them, and how to work with them. You're seeing examples of missions right here on my screen. And as you can probably tell, a mission represents a challenge via a question posed to an audience. In other words, you can think of missions as goal-oriented idea collections. Now, to ensure that you stay organized on your workspace, missions are put into team folders. Take this team folder, for example. It's called Unicorn Inc. because all of the missions within it are topically relevant to the whole organization. However, you can also imagine that if you have just onboarded, say, your sales department, what better way to proceed than creating a team folder where team sales can put all of their missions. Now you can still invite anyone in the company to participate in these missions, but having organized your missions into team folders ensures that you always know where to find things. Here's another example. A team folder dedicated to open innovation, which means this is where you can find all the missions shared with customers or maybe external partners. Now let's have a look inside one of these missions. As you can see, we got our mission question up top, and the mission is all decked out with a nice cover image and some useful attachments, in this case an image, a video, and a PDF. As a user, I can choose to browse the ideas that have already been submitted by other people, and I can, among other things, interact with them by liking them. But what I want to do is, of course, to add an idea of my own. And once I do that, I'm shown this submission form. And this one is short and sweet, but admins can customize it any way they want to include extra text fields, drop-downs, sliders, or checkmarks. Anything you need to make sure you collect ideas in the right format. We have now added an idea, and we can see it right here on top of all the other ones. Now, collecting ideas is good, but if you have the right process, it's great. And the way IdeaNote provides this process is via something called phases. And this idea is right now in what is called the grow phase, as indicated by this green call to action that asks how might this idea be improved. This means that users are invited to add their feedback for real-time collaboration that make the idea mature and grow. So imagine you've collected a ton of ideas, and some of them have received a lot of attention and a lot of likes. You can then move them forward to the next phase, called the rate phase. How it works is that you create a set of rating criteria that you can use to evaluate your ideas in this mission. I've created 3 different criteria for the mission, but you can add as many as you'd like, and you decide what they should be. If we then click Change Phase and put this idea into the rate phase, the green call to action is now yellow, and it has the first of the rating criteria within it and asks, how confident are you in this idea? We can then rate the idea on a 4 scale. Secondly, how large of an impact will this idea have? And lastly, how much will it cost? What you get then is a total average based on all the ratings received, which tells you exactly how to prioritize your ideas moving forward. Maybe some go back into the grow phase, but the best ones will prepare them for implementation. Now what I'm going to do is change the view, which is currently called Explore. This allows us to see all the ideas, but we're going to look at something called Manage. This gives us a total overview of all the phases and all the ideas within this mission. As you can see, our idea is still in the rate phase, and this view allows us to easily drag and drop ideas between phases. The phase after rate is called act, and it allows us to assign individual users or teams to an idea so that they will get notified that they now own the idea and that it should be carried to action. And of course, after that, the idea is marked as completed in the done phase. Now, this is just one example of an innovation funnel, because you can add, remove, and rename all of the phases to fit your particular innovation needs. For example, we can add an additional phase called review, where all new ideas require admin approval before they become visible to the rest of your workspace. You might also want to change who can participate in the different phases. So for each mission, you can set an independent audience by the click of a button. Just hit the share button, and now we get an overview of the current audience for the mission we're in. And as you can see, I'm the admin of the mission, and both Jerry and Harry can add ideas and they can grow them too. But let's say that we want to add all of team sales and give them access to add ideas, grow ideas, but also to rate ideas. We can also bring Sally as an admin to help us out. Or we can generate a shareable link and set access for anyone who arrives via this link. In this case, they will be able to participate in all of the phases within the mission. In other words, access to missions is as flexible as you need it to be. And then there's everything else. Admins have access to a nifty little settings panel where everything can be easily configured, such as the rating criteria and the idea templates that we've already seen in action. Another thing I want to show you is what goes on in the Insights tab that you can find right here in the site navigation. Insights is where IdeaNote visualizes various data on ideas, missions, and user behavior. Anything that helps you tell the story of your innovation efforts. One example is stats on user engagement, such as how many people have visited and how many have added ideas. You can also see where in the world all your ideas are coming from. You also get the more traditional Hall of Fame that lists all of your most active users and the most productive teams. And lastly, a personal favorite of mine. This is the Idea Cluster that helps you identify trends across all ideas on your workspace. In short, ideas are clustered automatically based on their content, which allows you to find adjacent or similar ideas much faster. You can even create new connections between ideas by linking them together manually. Before we wrap things up, I want to show you one last thing. This is the newest member of the IdeaNote feature family. It's called the widget, and it's one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. You can take any mission and embed it in widget form on a page of your choosing, like your landing page or your intranet. This way, you can scoop up ideas wherever they are, from your customers, for example. And that, my friends, concludes the demo.